Welcome to this mini lesson at Legal Visuals Academy. Our training programs are centered around one idea. Law is a consumer product, so it needs to be packaged in a way that is useful for its consumers, its users. Different users have different needs, so you as their legal service provider need to get to know them before you redesign your legal communication. That may sound like a no-brainer, but it is a big blind spot in the legal field. Lawyers like to organize their information in the same way their legal brains are organized. For example, starting with the history of a certain statute and listing the general legal criteria, before filtering down to the specifics of a particular case. Real users want to find out right away what is usable for them. Getting to know your audience is one element of the visual communication method that we teach. In this mini lesson, we will show how to focus on your audience in 3 steps. We will first explain each step. Then we will demonstrate its application with an example. Finally, you will get to practice for yourself. A legal infographic contains a selection of information on a certain topic. How you make that selection depends on your client, your user. An elderly small claims client, for example, has different information processing needs and habits than a CEO of a tech startup. So defining your target user is step 1. For whom are you doing this specific legal project? You can think of clients, co-workers, another lawyer, an audience with English as their second language, an audience that includes people with disabilities, or for your own knowledge base. You can clarify the characteristics of your audience by answering questions like, what is the background of my audience in terms of education and interests? What knowledge do they already have? How much time will they want to spend on this information? What is the relationship between you as the maker and the target audience? A helpful design trick is to visualize a specific person from your audience, a so-called persona. Step 2 is to discover the intended use of the information. What is the main concern of your user? Imagine your persona in their specific context and try to discover what drives them. What decisions do they need to make? What do they want to know? What do they need to know? What do they need to remember? What information do they need to gather? Are they dealing with specific stress factors or even trauma? When do they need to take action? Some of the answers may come to you simply by tuning into the specific situation of your user based on what you already know about them. You may also discover some blind spots. If this is the case, you will need to ask specific questions to your user to complete your understanding of their needs. People have both informational and emotional needs. For example, to receive some empathy and comfort. They will be able to use your information optimally if you accommodate both types of needs. Step 3 of knowing your audience is crafting the right legal content for them. You know who you're working for and what needs they are trying to address. Lawyers are knowledge workers that identify themselves through their legal expertise. Chances are that you know a lot more than your user will need from you. So you have to make a selection and give them only the information that is useful for them in their current context. You get to keep the rest. Let's apply these steps to a concrete legal example. The HR manager at the airline company you work for as a general counsel reaches out to you about the implementation of a new Family Medical Leave Act. The two of you have a relationship between advisor and internal client. In addition, you're co-workers in the same organization. Now, let's take a look at Finn. They are the HR manager at the airline company you work for. 10 years of experience in the company, well educated, familiar with the company's family leave policies, and interested in the current updates on this topic. Finn wants to know, what do we need to do next at minimum for our employees? To add some real-life complexity, it's likely that there are 3 groups of users that will each use the information in a different time, place, and role. Finn, the HR manager, is the direct user. They need to present decision options to executive management, need to implement the policy in the employee handbook in a logical, accessible way, and need to communicate the changes to other users. The information they get from you as legal counsel needs to be ready to go. The implementation needs to happen within 2 weeks, so everyone needs to be quickly up to speed. It would help the HR manager a lot if you deliver your legal documents in a ready-to-roll-out format. Then there are intermediary users. The regional and local on-site supervisors need to use the policy when they evaluate an employee's request. These operational supervisors will need to understand how this new policy fits with the existing leave policies. Fin needs to equip them with an overview of the changes and tools to assist in deciding consistently and efficiently if the employee qualifies. The third group of users are the end users, the employees who make personal decisions based on these rules, possibly in stressful circumstances. They need to have easy access to get an overview of their rights, know when they qualify and how to request application of this policy. So for them, the information needs to be in plain language and easy to find. In the given example, the legal advice, to make it user-friendly for everyone involved, needs to be given in a way that accounts for Fin's needs and the needs of their users. So you need to craft your legal information in a way that makes it ready to go for Fin. That is true for the legal content and for the legal packaging. Crafting your legal information is a reverse engineering puzzle. You start with the end user in mind. In our example, what do they need to know when they want to figure out their family medical leave? Then add what the intermediary users will need as extra information, as operational decision makers. For example, a summary of life before and after the new rules and an overview of the documents to use, the criteria to decide if the employee qualifies, and the work process to document. The next puzzle piece is what Fin needs. All of the above, plus a list of management decisions to be made, with a legal analysis of pros and cons, and a checklist of documents to be updated. We've given you the 3 steps and made it more practical by giving an example. Now it is your turn to practice and make these ideas your own. Please look in the course materials to download the workbook for this mini course. You will be asked to think about a type of legal project that is common in your work. You will be guided through the 3 steps of knowing your audience. Good luck! As a recap, by investing time to get to know your user, you have moved beyond your traditional legal expert blinders. You give your user the information toolkit they need to easily work with their legal information throughout the course of their tasks. This was a sample of our programs. If you want to take this to the next level, please take a look at our basics course for an overview of the design process and basic practical skills to get started. If you are interested in legal infographics but you don't have the budget to hire a professional team to create visual content, this course is a great way to get started. You will learn techniques to both maintain the quality and accuracy of the legal information and reorganize it in a more user-friendly and accessible way. Our method goes far beyond illustration. It is grounded in its legal roots. Visual thinking helps you to get clarity for yourself first. In the various courses, you will get introduced to a variety of visual thinking tools. Taking the basics course is a great way to find out if this skill set is worth your time and money. Does this meet your thinking style? Does it help you to get more clarity or a better overview? Do you want to make visual communication a part of your everyday legal work? What might the benefits be for your clients, for your users, and for your own marketing? We would love to hear from you. I started this work 15 years ago to make the legal system more accessible for more people. I believe this begins with lawyers and other legal professionals. Legal Visuals Academy is a learning community on how to create legal stuff that makes sense.